everybody, welcome back to the Driveway Engineer. It's JR. Our video on things to buy was really popular, and I've kind of taken a break from that kind of stuff for a couple weeks now. But I want to go over today the things not to buy, because I see a lot of people wasting a lot of money on things that are just frankly silly. You know, you'll see these people online, there's no way you can do a swap for less than 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, whatever. And then they try to belittle you and demean you, well, if you want a bunch of junkyard crap, there's nothing wrong with a bunch of junkyard crap. Like, if you bought this engine, it's got a 120-day warranty, this dude's a professional, like, I believe that this thing will run 169,000 miles. It's all cruddy. Nobody's messed with it. If they will run before, they'll run now. I mean, if you can get it out of a running engine, but a lot of these guys, like, look, can hear run. If you can hear it run, if you'll run it for you, why won't it run after you take it out and put it into your swap vehicle? There's, So, I'm going to count down like 5 to 1, like the Tonight Show or whoever it is that does that. I don't know. It's been a while. But the number 5 thing, in my opinion, is head studs. And I put these last because, some people just can't sleep at night if they reuse their stock bolts. It keeps them awake. And the ARP stud kits are $350 if you have an early LS. They're $300 if you have a late LS. They're a lot of money. Like, I cannot justify that kind of money when I know that stock bolts will hold 1,000 horsepower if they've been reused. I know personally that stock bolts will hold 640 horsepower being reused. However, if you just can't bring yourself to do it, in spite of the fact of 1,000 people out there reusing their bolts and not having a problem, Matt Happel does it all the time, a million other people do it all the time. If you just have to get something, just get these stupid Chinese ones that are all over eBay. They got them for 04 and up. There's a year break, so between 03 are different than 04. The early ones like mine have like these weird little short bolts, and the late ones from 04 up have all the same length bolts. But I mean, yeah, they're from China, but they're bolts. Come on. If China can grow potatoes on the dark side of the moon, they can make bolts for your stupid junkyard motor. That's the number 4 thing, or number 5 thing. Number 4 is the custom ground camshafts, where people get into. I don't think I have any of these up. Yeah, like this. This is a Texas Speed one. It features cams XR, ER, whatever. Who cares? It's $400. Like, nobody's ever been able to successfully show me that this makes a significant gain over the $220 Elgin 1840p, the sloppy stage 2, stage 3. Like, when somebody actually demonstrates to me, shows me a dyno test that these $400 cams make, I mean, you're talking double the price. They definitely don't make double the power. What do they make? 10 horsepower, 20 horsepower, 30 horsepower? Not enough to make it worth it. I just don't bother. If you're going to do anything other than the Elgin, just do a stock one. Gasket kits. Again, everybody, the gaskets, all the gaskets on an LS engine are designed to be reused. They're all steel with rubber core, And so you get people that, I want the Felpro, the GM Victor Ranks or whatever it is. Look, BTR will sell you a bunch of crap if you need it. Of course, they're always there to part you from your money. If you go into your engine and you need gaskets, replace them. But you don't need to just buy gaskets for the hell of it. Like, You know, if you take the valve cover off and clearly, you know, the O-ring or the rubber gasket in it smashed flat and you want to replace it, that's fine. But there's no reason to buy a full gasket kit. It's not your dad's 1966 283 that's like all cork gaskets and cut out of a cardboard box, and they're totally reusable. They're fine. The number two thing is fuel rails, and everybody for whatever reason just wants to buy fuel rails. I just went out in my garage and cut a fuel rail in half for you guys. So here's the dimension of a Holley fuel rail. Okay, it's $100. 5/8 diameter, provides the flow capacity for high horsepower applications. Well, the stock truck rail measures 0.855 ish. That's about 7/8 of an inch. So you're talking a full 1/4 inch of diameter more than the stupid Holley rails. They just don't look cool. But which one flows more fuel? If you're really trying to support a bunch of horsepower, like people always tell me, there's no need to swap your fuel rails. As long as they'll fit on your intake and you have a truck intake like you should, they'll fit, they'll work, they'll flow more than this stupid aftermarket, this nonsense. I mean, look, these are sweet in purple, but, you know, otherwise, you know, unless you just love purple or some red, blue, God's no, God's now. I don't know what the hell's going on here. There's some kind of Chinglish stuff. Anyway, it's a complete and utter waste of time and money, and generally they leak and that you have to buy a crossover line for them. And the truck rail, I don't show it here, but the truck rail is regulated. It's boost referenced. You can run it up to 3 bar. So buying anything else is a giant waste of money again. Which kind of brings me, you know, it kind of goes hand in hand with the number one part on the list, which is intakes. Intake manifolds, people just gravitate to them. I don't know why. I mean, I guess because this looks super cool, you know. I want to pop my hood and, you know, have it look like the Wraith or something too. But these things don't make any power, and this is $485. Hot Rod did a shootout probably like 3 or 4 years ago, and I have this spreadsheet up on the Driveway Engineer Facebook group. All these costs aren't really current. I did go in and fix the Trailblazer SS cost because they had it at $300 and you can get them for $150 right now. But it was a pretty hot 6-liter. It had flat top pistons. I think it had AFR heads. It had a custom cam and all that nonsense. It made, you know, close to 600 horsepower. The LS1 and the LS6 gained like 8 horsepower over the truck intake. You know, so for these, I found LS1 intakes for like $200 on eBay. I found LS6 for $300. I pay like $25 at LKQ for truck intakes. I have 2 or 3 of them out there in my garage right now. I'm sure, you know, you can come across them. The Trailblazer SS is probably the best bang for the buck, the best thing going right now. And it outdoes the truck by 13 horsepower and a few foot-pounds of torque. Looks like 16 foot-pounds of torque. These fast though, the MSD Italic, I don't even know if they make all these anymore. But that fabbed aluminum one loses power, loses torque. It gains power, it loses torque. I have the cost per horsepower figured out. So the stock truck is like 5 cents per horsepower. The Holley cast, I don't even know if they make that one anymore. That one's $1.14. The Edelbrock ProFlow is not a bad deal, but I did all these figures so you can figure out what's worth it to you. Like I said, this is on the Driveway Engineer Facebook group. And that's pretty much it for this week. You guys be sure to keep watching and liking and subscribing, and I'll keep doing these videos. I have a lot of good suggestions for future videos. I'm kind of starting to fill out the middle of the week with my other off-brand, off-topic stuff, like my truck and the truck bed, things like that. But it's really good to see all you guys join up on Facebook. It's good to get all the comments in the comment section. I appreciate it. I try to answer everybody the best I can. I really appreciate everybody watching and taking the time so that I know I'm not just talking to the dog when I do this stuff. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on The Driveway Engineer.